Ron Siegel Radio, your home and mortgage connection.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
And hello again. Welcome to Ron Siegel Radio. This is the show with no real boundaries as we discuss current events, financial markets, politics, sports, even poking fun at the rest of the media. This is the show that connects the dots of confusion delivered by conflicting media reports. We connect the dots so you know the actions you can take, how your family or business can benefit in current events. Most of all, thank you for joining me. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day. We have a very focused show. We only chat about items that affect the roof over your head, your bank account, and anything I feel would benefit you. And let me remind you, if you ever have any more finance-related questions, I am the consumer advocate looking out for you, and you can reach out to me directly, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. Just remember that's the number you call anytime for assistance. When you call that number, it comes directly to me first. There are operators standing by.
Quiet, numbskulls, I'm broadcasting.
While I do have a great team when it comes to developing a financing plan, a plan to save you money, I personally work with you, even if you don't have any needs today. Save this number in your phone for future reference, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. And yes, we're celebrating today. We celebrate every day on Ron Siegel Radio. You know, this one, I like this one because I have beaten anorexia, and this one fits right in. It is National Brownie Day. So here's the question. With or without nuts? With or without frosting? And just for Josh, with or without ice cream? So, I think there's one restaurant around. I don't remember which one it is that you go there. Oh, Islands Restaurant. You go in there on your birthday, and they give you a brownie. Josh, you like this one? Brownie covered with ice cream and whipped cream. How could you go wrong on that? So it's National Brownie Day. So we're just checking them out to see what do you like? Tell us your favorite versions there. Let's see what the markets are doing today. Do we want to see what the markets are doing today? I've been watching them. The bond market has not been something that we've really wanted to watch too much today because that's been a little painful. And, you know, that's what we watch the most just because that's where the mortgage rates come from. And, you know, you generally on a day like this, it's pretty quiet. We don't see a whole lot of movement on a Monday right before the Federal Reserve meeting starts. But it has not been a pretty day in the bond market today. So we're watching it. But we know that everything is subject to change. The mortgage bond is down 14 basis points. The 10-year treasury is up 4 basis points. Now, if I recall correctly, I think it was on our weekend update. So if you're a professional, real estate agent or a financial advisor, CPA, insurance advisor, every Friday we send out a weekend update. And I'm pretty sure in the weekend update on Friday, I made a comment that it was going to be a lot easier to see the 10-year treasury get up to 4.18 than down to 4%. Oh, and by the way, we're sitting right now at 4.178. Haven't hit that 4.18, but we're close enough. We're up 4 basis points for the day. Not that I'm excited about that, but that's where we're sitting. We're looking at the Dow Jones Industrial Average is down 206. The NASDAQ is down 77. S&P 500 is down 28. Oil down 97 cents a barrel, 59.11 per barrel. And we're looking at gasoline prices. 295 is the national average. 295 is the national average. Josh, you're better than us, but neither of us are seeing 295 anywhere close to where we're at. I'm here in the formerly Golden State. 447 is our average for the state of California. 447. What's that? $1.50 a gallon more than the national average. You know, that's it's not something that I'm proud of, but we do get what we vote for. Ow! Yes, painful. Speaking about getting what you vote for, anybody out listening to the whining yesterday from all of those Notre Dame fans? You know, and I like to talk sports because, well, when I first started radio in 2010, we were doing our show on ESPN radio, and we've had a couple of different affiliates in the ESPN network over the years. So, yeah, I do follow the sports. But Notre Dame is whining big time because they didn't get into the national championship playoff tournament. Now, when you look at their strength of schedule, do they deserve it? I mean, unfortunately, they only beat one ranked opponent. And the only reason I say it's unfortunate is because it was my Trojans. And yes, I am a Trojan fan. So Notre Dame, and Notre Dame Nation, you wanted to be independent only when it's convenient for you to get the money. Now, when it's not convenient, they're saying, you're not playing anybody that's of high quality, strength of schedule candidates, or when you do play them, you lose. You're not in the national championship conversation. Sorry. You had your opportunity, but you said, no, what we want to do is we want to stay independent. That way we don't have to share money with anybody. Well, you got your wish. Now you're not going to share any money for any of the bowl games. Now, you didn't want to go and play. I guess they would have paid you if you went. But, hey, there's a couple other teams. I thought that it was, I think, Iowa State and one other team decided to opt out of the bowls, and they qualified. So their conference said, okay, you're not going to go play? We're not going to give you your share of the bowl money. $500,000 to each one of those teams that they lost in revenue shares on the bowl games. Bowl games are big budgets for the schools. So I don't think that they're going to be too excited when they say, no. Well, one of the schools, one of them, and Josh, maybe you could find out who they were that opted out. There was two of them just recently. One of them opted out because their entire coaching staff resigned and went to, I think, the University of Pittsburgh, something along those lines. So it would have been kind of hard to play a bowl game without any coaches. And, I wonder how much more the NC2A can do to mess up a great program in college football. I look at it and say this transfer portal, I mean, you got a player there that can leave after a year. What value is there in trying to bring on good players and develop them when they can leave after a year? Doesn't make Kansas State and Iowa State. Thanks, Josh. So I think it was Kansas State that their coaches all left to go to one of the Pennsylvania schools, either Pitt or Pittsburgh State. I don't one of those schools, but it doesn't matter. But it's fun because this is where you cross over from a home and finance show talking about money to sports, which I kind of enjoy. Unfortunately, the Trojans are not in the playoff, but hey, they didn't deserve it. Neither did Notre Dame. And I think Texas probably deserved it based on their strength of schedule more than Notre Dame did. You're listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, this may be the best time to buy a brand new home. Homebuyers' new FICO rules for 2026 will expose your buy now, pay later history. What you need to do now, the costly myth of timing the perfect rate, and unfortunately, what happens when your family can't find your bank passwords after you're gone. All that and more. Reach me anytime. Off-air number 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or RonSiegelRadio.com, Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Are you a veteran, own a home, and need money? The Siegel lending team is here to help veterans refinance and get the money they need. The VA 100 lets you borrow up to 100% of your home's value, refinance your mortgages, consolidate credit cards, and lower your payments by an average of $700 a month. And the Siegel lending team knows that character means more than a credit score. Call 800-306-1990. That's 800-306-1990. Rate subject to change without notice. Licensed by the California Department of Corporations, NMLS 21037, and DRE number 018694452. You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Mortgage Minute today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. And every day at this time, OBMMI. They provide the most comprehensive, accurate, timely, and interactive analysis of pricing ever conducted in the mortgage industry, calculated from actual locked rates with the consumers across 35% of all mortgage transactions nationwide. They do not tell us points paid, points received, or the APR. They only tell us the number you put in your mortgage calculator to determine what your principal and interest payment will be. If you don't have a mortgage calculator, shame on you. It's available for free. rsrlinks.com/mobile app. What did rates do on Friday? Let's take a look at them for you. And it looks like we've got that mixed bag. Conventional 30-year fix, 6.213. That was up. Jumbo 30-year fixed, 6.451. That was up. FHA 30-year fixed, 6.034. That was down. VA 30-year fixed, 5.738. That was down. USDA 30-year fixed, 6.22. That was up. Looks like we got, like I said, a mixed bag. If you want to know our thoughts about the market, we do share those each and every business day morning as early as the data allows. You got to go to the Ron Siegel Radio community. And that community is free to you. All you have to do is go to rsrlinks.com/HBOD, rsrlinks.com/HBOD. You get there and you register. It's free. We only send out, I think only send out like one email a week out of that system. But anytime you want to go there, you can ask questions in the community. You can post thoughts in the community. You can look at what we're sharing in the community. It's all right there. And sometimes we even have guest writers that are in the community as well. So you can get all of that stuff again, rsrlinks.com/HBOD. Now, what's happening in the market today? That's what the next step is here, is we are looking, and we've got, as I mentioned earlier, the 10-year Treasury, 4.178, 4.177 now. It's jumping around. And also, I should mention that bonds change all day, every day. Just like the stock market, they're constantly jumping around and changing. So that's why when you ask somebody for a mortgage rate quote, if you ask one company at 9 in the morning and another company at 1 in the afternoon, you're not comparing apples and apples because the market could have shifted during that time period. The mortgage bond is down 14 basis points, which means rates are up. The S&P 500 is down 29.5. And the real question then becomes, why? And I know that you can get all of those numbers on that super secret website, google.com. But the why question, Google doesn't share with you that information. So one of the things that's going on right now is Revelo Labs released a private labor market report, which gained popularity during the government shutdown. It showed that there were 9,000 job losses in November, and there were job losses in 5 out of the last 7 months. This data syncs up pretty closely with ADP. Looking at these sectors, the majority have had job losses, but the one bright spot was education and health services, which had 26,000 job gains. But this is a sector that is not economically sensitive as education and health. It's just going to always be there. Look at a year-over-year breakdown of where jobs are coming from. The vast majority are from education and health services. The other 13 sectors are showing almost 230,000 job losses over the course of the year combined. Ow! But job growth is positive because there were 436,000 gains in education and health services. $436,000 in education health services, $230,000 in everything else combined. Now you see where the gains are coming from. It's likely that the labor market has been weaker longer than just the last several months, but this sector has been masking it. Bottom line, this report is another reason the Fed needs to cut rates this week. Realtor.com reported that there were 1.075 million active listings in November, down from 1.1 million in the previous month. Inventory is once again getting tighter, as it always does this time of year. While inventory is up 13% from November of last year, it's still down 6% from more normal pre-pandemic levels. Median days on market from list to close rose from 61 last year to 64 days, while the median home price declined 0.4% to $415,000. But that does not mean that home values are declining. This can be greatly affected by the mix of sales and depends on where you are. Nationwide, Case-Shiller is reporting that home values are up about 1% year over year. ICE also reported that home values rose 0.2% in November and are up almost 1% year over year. This week, we get the JOLTS job opening and labor turnover report tomorrow. Weekly ADP comes out tomorrow. Employment report, the 10-year auction. Wednesday, mortgage applications, Fed statement, and the summary of economic projections and press conference is all on Wednesday. Jobless claims is on Wednesday as well. That is the Mortgage Minute, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/mobile app, rsrlinks.com/mobile app. Let's see. How about I think we could do Mortgage 101, brought to you by gethomeselect.com, gethomeselect.com. Picture this. Family sits at the kitchen table, credit card bill stacked high, paying 24% interest on $40,000 of debt. Their home has $200,000 in available equity, but they're waiting for mortgage rates to drop just a little bit more before they refinance. Meanwhile, they're hemorrhaging $800 a month in credit card interest alone. Sound familiar? I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, I want to talk about one of the most expensive mistakes homeowners are making right now, trying to time the perfect mortgage rate. I get calls every single week from homeowners asking the same question. Ron, rates are in the low 6% range now. Should I refinance or wait for them to drop further? And here's what I tell them. And what I'm telling you today, trying to time the absolute bottom of mortgage rates is like trying to catch a falling knife. It's risky, it's stressful, and it usually ends up with you getting hurt financially. Have you heard me talk about our two-step? rsrlinks.com/two-step, rsrlinks.com/two-step, because when you're going through this same thing, I don't care what rates are doing, because we've got a plan, a strategic plan. Here's the problem with this whole conversation. Most homeowners are so focused on that mortgage rate that they completely miss what's really happening to their household budget. Let me share a real story. I worked with a couple recently. Let's call them the Johnsons. They had a $400,000 mortgage at 7.25%. Not terrible, but not great. But here's what they weren't looking at. They also had $35,000 in credit card debt at an average of 22% interest, a car loan at 8%, and a personal loan at 11%. They kept telling me, we're waiting for rates to hit 5.5% before we refinance. So I asked them a simple question. While you're waiting for that perfect rate, how much money is walking out your door every month? We sat down and calculated a household blended interest rate. That's the weighted average of all their debt, not just the mortgage. Turns out they were paying an effective rate of almost 12% across all their obligations. Their monthly debt payments, over $4,200. That's money leaving their household budget every single month. So what does this mean for you? Strategy beats rate always. Instead of waiting for mortgage rates to hit some magical number, we looked at their total situation through my framework: safety, liquidity, and return. We repositioned $35,000 of high-interest debt into their mortgage at 6.5%. Yes, their mortgage rate went up slightly from what they could have gotten if they'd refinanced without taking cash out, but their household blended interest rate dropped from 12% to under 7%. rsrlinks.com/two-step. Their monthly debt payments down from $4,200 to $2,900. That's a $1,300 a month back in their household budget, over $15,000 a year. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but Ron, What about the break-even point? I don't need to save at least 0.75% to make it worthwhile. That advice, it only works if you're looking at your mortgage in isolation. But your mortgage doesn't exist in isolation. It exists as part of your entire financial picture. If you've got credit card debt, car loans, student loans, or personal loans eating away your cash flow, waiting for the perfect mortgage rate is costing you real money every single day. Here's the question most homeowners never think to ask. What is the opportunity cost of waiting? While you're waiting 6 months for rates to potentially drop another 1/4 point, how much are you paying in high interest debt? What could you be doing with an extra $500,000, $1,500 a month in your household budget? Look, I've been doing this and helping families. First family I helped was in 1983. I've seen every market cycle, every rate environment, and here's what I know. The people who build real wealth aren't the ones who time the market perfectly. They're the ones who make strategic decisions based on their complete financial picture. Your household blended interest rate matters more than your mortgage rate. Your monthly cash flow matters more than your mortgage rate. Your ability to sleep at night without worrying about credit card bills matters more than your mortgage rate. So if you're sitting there with high interest debt, waiting for the perfect moment to refinance, I want you to ask yourself one question. How much is waiting costing me? Here's what I suggest. Go look at rsrlinks.com/2step. That's rsrlinks.com/2step. Walk through our 2-step equity strategy process. Let's look at your complete financial picture, not just your mortgage rate, but your household blended interest rate. Where do you get that? Well, you can just you do an application and we figure it out for you. Or you send us the information, we figure it out for you. You go to rsrlinks.com/Sora and we can get a pretty good idea, rsrlinks.com/Sora. Because remember, strategy beats rate always. I am Ron Siegel, your certified liability advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. That is Mortgage 101, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/Sora, rsrlinks.com/Sora. Okay, I gotta just gotta read the screen, right, Josh? That's all it takes. It's all right there for me. I know sometimes I'm just a little bit slow. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate current events and the financial markets. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com, facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you missed any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the numeral 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Confused about the home buying process? Or curious how much you really know about buying a home? Take the First Home IQ quiz to test your understanding of buying a home. Created by the nonprofit First Home IQ, this 5-minute quiz will give you a score, what you missed, and why. Take the quiz in 5 minutes at rsrlinks.com/FHIQ and find out what you need to know about buying your first home. That's rsrlinks.com/FHIQ.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's...
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio. Or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. The real-time real estate segment brought to you today by rsrmoney.com. rsrmoney.com. Where'd my story go? I'm looking for it. I can't find it. This may be the best time to buy a brand new home. Yeah, that's and we've got a special opportunity for you too. If you're thinking about buying a brand new home, there's something that's very, very unique available through our lending team, and I'm going to tell you about that as well, because most people aren't going to tell you about this one either. New home construction today is giving buyers something it feels like they haven't gotten much lately, a real shot at both the homes they want and the deal they need. More brand new options are on the market right now, and builders are rolling out incentives that make these homes more affordable than many people expect. It's a combination that doesn't come around often, and it's putting buyers in a surprisingly strong position. Here's why this moment matters and why it's worth partnering with your own local agent to take advantage of it. Number one, new homes are available now, and that may not last. There's more new construction on the market today than normal, and for buyers, that means more cutting-edge communities, more move-in ready homes, more floor plans to pick from, more upgraded designs, and modern features. But that variety may not last. Data from Zonda shows that even though it feels like new homes are popping up just about everywhere, builders have actually started pulling back. The number of starts, that's when builders break ground, has been slowly but steadily declining over the past few years, and that's good because it prevents overbuilding nationally. But here's the real insight that can give you an edge. Forecasts show that slight downward trend should continue next year. And if you're watching us on RonSiegelRadio.tv, any of our socials or the ABC News and Talk, AM 1490 and FM 98.1 video feed, you are seeing a chart that home builders are slowing down. It's a signal that new inventory we have now may be your widest pool of all new options for a while. Today, Redfin says 1 in 3 homes, 27% on the market, are new builds. That's higher than the norm, but the lowest share in 4 years. And it makes sense based on the graph that we were showing. That means if you want more options to choose from, now's the time to look. And if you're wondering why the pullback, it's simple. Since there are already more new homes for sale than usual, builders want to focus on selling down the supply they already have on the market rather than adding more new homes. And that leads to point 2. Builder incentives just hit an all-time high. Here's where things get even better for buyers. To make sure the inventory they have now keeps moving, builders are offering incentives at levels not seen in years. And many of those perks directly help buyers with affordability. Buyers today are getting lower prices. Builders are dropping the prices on their brand new homes to draw in buyers. Help with closing costs. Some builders are covering thousands of dollars in fees to reduce the upfront cost of buying. Extra upgrades, think premium finishes, appliances, packages, and designer features all added at no extra cost. And mortgage rate buy downs. This is when the builder pays to get you a lower mortgage rate, which reduces your monthly payments and helps with affordability. Go check out rsrlinks.com/buydown, rsrlinks.com/buydown, so you understand this. But you don't have to be lucky to see these types of perks. The truth is, the vast majority of builders are offering advantages like these right now. According to the National Association of Home Builders, NAHB, 65% of builders say they're using some type of sales incentive, and, quote, 41% of builders reported cutting prices in November, a record high in the post-COVID period, and the first time this measure has passed 40%, unquote. Chart on the screen shows you a record high percentage of builders are cutting prices. That's a big deal. It shows how willing builders are to negotiate right now. And if you look closely at the graph, you'll notice the use of incentives typically falls in the early part of the year as buyer demand rises going into the spring. So you have an edge. If you act now, this may be your ideal window to find the most options and better prices. If you lean on your own agent and you're savvy about what you ask for, you could walk away with some of the best perks buyers have seen in years. And when every dollar counts and any incentive helps your bottom line, that's worth looking into. More options equal more savings and an offer too good to pass up. Now, here's what nobody talks about, because you know strategy beats rate always. So how about doing a renovation loan? Very few people understand the renovation loans and know it's not just for FHA. But you do the renovation loan so you overfinance the property. Why? Because you're going to start doing extra work on the property. Yes, the work has to be done. You're not just going to be able to get money. So the work has to be done by a licensed contractor, no sweat equity. You can't do it yourself and say that it's done. But landscape, hardscape, wall coverings, window coverings, other home upgrades, they cost money. And if you're putting all your money that you can into the down payment, well, maybe you don't have money for those things. But with these specialized loan programs, and most of the builders don't even offer them. So yeah, ask them about it. Oh, you can't do that. Why can't you do it? Because they don't have it. We do. It's a renovation loan, and you basically go in and you say, okay, after we do these remodels, after we put in the pool and the outdoor entertainment center, The property is going to be worth more money than it is today because we did upgrades. It's not just a standard track sitting with a dirt backyard, dirt front yard, no sprinklers, no landscaping. All those things cost money. So we built that into the renovation, and you get all that work done, and it's built into your mortgage payment. It's very specialized. Give us a call. We know what we're doing with most builders offering generous incentives and a wider selection of new homes for sale. Buyers may be looking at one of the best times in years to buy a new build. Let's connect. If you want to know which communities, builders, and incentives offer the most value today, you got to have your own agent, not the builder's representative. Your own agent makes the sale and negotiation process much easier for you. If you could have a brand new home for less than you may expect, would you be interested? Give us a call, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. That is Real-Time Real Estate, brought to you by rsrmoney.com, rsrmoney.com. Let's see. What happens when your family can't find your bank passwords after you're gone? Borrow Smart segment brought to you by gethomeselect.com, gethomeselect.com. Here's a question most people never think about. What happens when you're gone and your family can't find your insurance policies, or they don't know the password to your bank accounts, or they have no idea what you wanted for your memorial service? Actor Lee Marvin once joked, as soon as people see my face on a movie screen, they knew two things. First, I'm not going to get the girl. And second, I'll get a cheap funeral before the picture is over. Most of us don't spend much time thinking about our funeral, but here's the reality. Without clear instructions, your family will be guessing about everything from your final wishes to where you kept the deed to your house. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Today, I want to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention in estate planning. The letter of instruction. It's not a legal document. Your attorney won't draft it, but it might be the most important thing you leave behind for your family. So what exactly is a letter of instruction? Think of it as a cheat sheet to your life. It's your personal letter you write that tells your family where everything is, what you want, and how to handle things after you're gone. You can address it to your executor, your spouse, your kids, whoever makes sense for your situation. Now, I know what you're thinking. Ron, I have a will. I have a trust. Isn't that enough? Not quite. Your will tells people who gets what. Your trust protects your assets. But neither one tells your family where to find your life insurance policy or what the password is to your online banking. Let me give you a real example. I had a client whose father passed away a few years ago. Great guy, successful businessman, had all his legal documents in order, but his will, trust, power of attorney, everything. But here's what they didn't have. Any idea where he banked? Took him 3 months to track down all his accounts, 3 months of stress and confusion during an already difficult time. That's what a letter of instruction prevents. So what should you include in this letter? First, the location of all your important legal documents. Where's your will, your trust documents, insurance policies, titles to your cars, and deeds to your property? Put it all in one place on paper. Second, a complete list of your financial assets. Every savings account, checking account, retirement account, investment account. Include the account numbers, include your institution names, and yes, include your passwords and PINs. I know that sounds risky, but this letter should be kept in a secure place, maybe with your attorney or in your safe deposit box. Third, information about any pensions or profit-sharing plans you have. Where are the booklets that explain the benefits? Who should your family contact? Fourth, where's your latest tax return? Where are your Social Security statements? Your family will need these to settle your estate. Fifth, if you have safe deposit boxes, where are they? And where are the keys? Now, here's where it gets personal. This letter is also the place to share your funeral wishes. Do you want to be buried or cremated? If you already have a cemetery plot, where's the deed? What kind of service do you want? What music? Who should speak? I had a client tell me she wants Happy by Pharrell Williams played at her service. She said, I want to people celebrating, not crying. That's going in her letter of instruction. Her kids will know exactly what she wants. You can also include a list of people who should be notified when you pass. Old friends your family might not know about, former colleagues, people who matter to you. Here's what makes the different from your other estate documents. There's no best way to write it. You can make it formal or casual. You can write it in your own style. You can include stories, explanations, even a little humor if that's who you are. The point is to make things easier for the people you love when they're dealing with one of the hardest moments of their lives. Now, how does this connect to strategic debt management and building wealth? Estate planning isn't just about what happens after you're gone. It's about organizing your financial life right now. When you sit down to write a letter of instruction, you're forced to take inventory. You see all your accounts, all your assets, all your debts in one place. That's when patterns become clear. That's when you might realize you're paying too much in insurance premiums or that you have equity in your home you could be using more strategically. And here's something most people don't think about. Proper estate planning often reveals opportunities to protect and preserve wealth for your family. When you understand what you have and where it is, you can make better decisions about how to structure everything, not just after you're gone, but for right now while you're building your legacy. Strategy beats rate always, but strategy starts with knowing where you stand. Bottom line, here's my challenge to you. This week, start your letter of instruction. You don't have to finish it all at once, but start gathering the information. Make a list of your accounts. Note where your important documents are. Think about what you'd want your family to know. And if you realize while you're doing this that your debt strategy could use a second look or that your household finances aren't as organized as they should be, let's talk. That's what I do. I help families get their financial house in order so they can build real wealth. Now, with a letter of instruction isn't a legal document, you still need proper estate planning documents, your will, trust, power of attorney. If you don't have these in place or if it's been years since you've reviewed them, rsrlinks.com/estate. rsrlinks.com/estate. I'll connect you with trusted estate planning professionals who can help you get everything properly documented. Remember, a letter of instruction isn't about being morbid. It's about being thoughtful. It's about taking care of your family one more time, even when you're not there to do it yourself. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. That's the Borrow Smart segment brought to you by GetHomeselect.com. GetHomeselect.com. You are listening to Ron Siegel Radio, discussing your real estate, current events, and the financial markets. When we come back, Homebuyers' new FICO rules in 2026 will expose your buy now, pay later history. Here's what you must do now. And the costly myth. Oh, no, we already did that one. That's we'll see what else we have to cover. You can reach me anytime. Our off-air number, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990 at ronsiegelradio.com. Facebook.com/Ron Siegel Radio. And if you miss any part of our broadcast, Ron Siegel 1 on YouTube, Ron Siegel, the number 1 on YouTube. Stay tuned. We'll be back in just a few.
Ron Siegel Radio. Your home and mortgage connection.
Do you know a homeowner experiencing divorce? Do you know a real estate reference and the divorce decree could cost tens of thousands of dollars? A certified divorce mortgage planning and real estate report could save you thousands of dollars, and it's free from your local certified divorce lending professional. Reach out to Ron today. RonIsMyLender.com. Again, RonIsMyLender.com. Licensed under NMLS 217037, Equal Housing Lender.
You're listening to Ron Siegel's Home and Finance Show with local and national expert Ron Siegel. Now, here's Ron.
Welcome back to Ron Siegel Radio. Within every market, there are solutions as well as tremendous opportunities. You just need some trusted guidance. That is my message, and I will be delivering it every day on Ron Siegel Radio or anytime at 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990. Your Credit Matters segment today being brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. Do you know that buy now, pay later button you click at checkout could soon affect your ability to buy a home? If you've been using services like Affirm, Klarna, or Afterpay, thinking they're invisible to lenders, 2026 is bringing some major changes you need to know about. I am Ron Siegel, Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management. Here's a question I'm getting almost daily now. Ron, does buy now, pay later affect my credit score? The short answer, not usually yet, but that's changing fast. And if you're planning to buy a home or refinance the next year, you need to pay attention. Let me break this down for you. Historically, when you use services like Affirm to split that $800 purchase into 4 easy payments, or Klarna to finance new furniture, These transactions did not show up on your credit report. They didn't help you build credit, and they didn't hurt your score if you missed a payment. They were essentially invisible to traditional lenders. But here's what's happening. FICO is rolling out 2 new scoring models in late 2025. FICO Score 10 BNPL and FICO Score 10T BNPL. These new models will actually factor in your buy now, pay later activity, and lenders will start adopting them throughout 2026. So what does this mean for you? If you've been making your BNPL payments, buy now, pay later payments on time, this could actually be good news. You'll finally get credit, literally, for that responsible payment behavior. It's similar to how paying your credit cards on time helps build your score. But here's the flip side. If you've been missing those payments or spreading yourself too thin across multiple BNPL accounts, those late payments will now hurt your credit score just like a missed credit card payment would. I had a client come in recently. Call her Sarah. She was getting ready to buy her first home. She had great income, solid savings. When we pulled her credit, her score had dropped 40 points seemingly out of nowhere. Turns out she had 5 different BNPL accounts going, and she'd been 30 days late on 2 of them. Under the old system, her mortgage application wouldn't have seen those late payments. Under the new FICO models being adopted in 2026, those late payments will absolutely impact your ability to qualify for a mortgage. Here's what I want you to understand. This isn't about whether buy now, pay later is good or bad. It's a tool just like a credit card. The question is whether you're using it strategically or letting it use you. If you're thinking about buying a home or refinancing in 2026, now is the time to get your financial house in order. That means knowing exactly what's having a strategy, not just reacting to whatever shows up. Remember, strategy beats rate always, and the part of the strategy is making sure your credit profile is working for you, not against you. So let's give you the tools. You want your real FICO score? rsrlinks.com/FICO. rsrlinks.com/FICO. That gives you your real FICO score. Now, if you want to get a credit score, we have 2 tools that help get you your credit score. One of them helps see where you are on the liability side. rsrlinks.com/Sora. rsrlinks.com/Sora. It's a 30-second credit app, and it kind of shows you your credit score, and it'll show your debts and what your debt picture looks like. You want to really get your house in order and kick it up a notch? rsrlinks.com/keystep. rsrlinks.com/keysteps. And that one, monitor your credit score, monitor your identity theft, monitor your asset accounts, monitor your budget. It's all right there, rsrlinks.com/keysteps. So again, if you're not sure where you stand with your credit or you want to get your financial house in order before these changes hit, head over to rsrlinks.com/keysteps. We'll help you understand exactly where you are and create a strategic plan for where you want to go. This is Ron Siegel, your Certified Liability Advisor, helping families build wealth through strategic debt management, reminding you that when it comes to building wealth, strategy beats rate always. And that's Your Credit Matters, brought to you by rsrlinks.com/debt-free, rsrlinks.com/debt-free. So I think we got a couple of minutes to give some stuff away, don't we, Josh? I think we can. He's telling me in the background that I can do it. So, you gotta get the right solutions here. It's got the Home Buyers Guide, the current version of our Home Buyers Guide. It is available, rsrlinks.com/HBG. I think it's the fall version. I don't think the winter version is out yet, but we update it all the time, rsrlinks.com/HBG. If you're thinking about selling your house, rsrlinks.com/HSG. rsrlinks.com/HSG. That's to sell your house. Yeah, I know there's a lot of you that have that 3% mortgage still. It's killing you in many instances. rsrlinks.com/3PCT. We take a look at that. If you're thinking about refinancing, and I know a lot of you are because I see the numbers right now, are you sure you're getting the best deal out there? rsrlinks.com/2NDLook. rsrlinks.com/2ND-look, like second look, but 2ND-look. We'll take a look at the loan estimate you have, match that up with your dreams and goals, and say, does it make sense for you to stay where you are or to change? Did they give you the best deal possible? We'll tell you that. rsrlinks.com/2ND-look. And we mentioned earlier in the broadcast about the buy down programs that we have, rsrlinks.com/buy down. And that kind of just gives you an education on buy down programs in general. rsrlinks.com/buy down. What else do we have to give away? Last week we did a show and I did get some comments about it on reverse mortgages. rsrlinks.com/reverse. rsrlinks.com/reverse. If you didn't catch that show, I highly recommend go and take a look at it. If you are a senior, know a senior, love a senior, want to become a senior, the reverse mortgage might be a great solution for you to contemplate. I'm just throwing that out there. Is it right for everybody? No, there's a few people I've told not to do it. Not very many though, because strategy beats rate always. And we don't know what's coming up. We never know what's coming up. Now, here's another one that I talk about. Well, the VA loan, it's my favorite. We're going to come out with a VA loan booklet. That's on our drawing board right now, and that one's close to being done. rsrlinks.com/VA loan. rsrlinks.com/VA loan. And one of them that makes the most sense, and very few people even take a look at it. And I promote this all the time. The best way to pay your credit card bills. rsrccpayment.com. rsrccpayment.com. And you say, Ron, I pay my credit card in full every month as soon as I get the statement. Congratulations, you're one of those people that pays your credit card the wrong way. rsrccpayment.com. rsrccpayment.com. That's where we show you the right way to pay your credit card bills for FICO scoring purposes. Nothing else. FICO scoring purposes. rsrccpayment.com. And as always, we ask, set that first radio preset button to come back here and join Ron Siegel Radio, where we only speak about items affecting your house and your bank account. Thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to Josh and Sean who are engineering us today. And of course, a special thanks to you for spending a little bit of your day with us. That's all for Ron Siegel Radio. Again, if you have any questions or to meet any of our guests, call me anytime, 800-306-1990, 800-306-1990, or ronsiegelradio.com. And remember, make a lot of money so you can help a lot of people and have a lot of fun. Have a great day. We'll talk to you next time on Ron Siegel Radio.